What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit of a while, but today I thought it would be fun to come in here and film a video on how I find cheap flights, cheap hotels, and things to do in cities that I'm staying in Europe. My sister and I are currently planning a trip to Sardinia and Sicily, and I thought it would be fun to just show you guys how I plan my trips out on a budget, how I find cheap airlines, what websites I use, and how I plan trips around Europe for our European summer. So let's get into it. Alright, so as you can see, I already have lots of tabs open, and basically what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be comparing hostels, Airbnbs, and Booking.com hotels. First thing that I like to do when picking a city is I just like to do a little bit of research about it. Let's do Sardinia. I will just go on a website thing like this, and I'll kind of just do a little bit of research on the island, places to stay. So here you can see the main cities are Cagliari, Carbonia, maybe like scroll through and see the places. And then I will start researching what airports are best to fly into. So I'll just open Apple Maps, and I literally use Apple Maps for everything. Alright, so Sardinia is just an island off the coast of Italy. So here it will show you the major cities. So here we can see Cagliari, Olbia, and then if you go to transit, it will also show you all the train stops throughout the island, so you can figure out transportation. And then I'm going to see what kind of airports do they have. So they have an airport outside Olbia, they have an airport here in Alghero, and then they also have one in Cagliari. Now I'm going to go to Google Flights, and Google Flights is amazing because you can type in whatever city. So I'm coming from Milan, and I'm going to be going to Sardinia, and I'm going to select my dates. So I want to be going the last week of June. Okay, so now I will start comparing my flight options. So here I can see the cheapest day to fly from Milan to Cagliari is on Tuesday, June 27th. First flight comes out at 5:50 a.m. I know that I would not be able to make this flight because the trains in Italy don't start until 6 a.m. So that's also something that you probably want to keep in mind. So that's great. So now I know the cheapest date to fly from Milan to Cagliari is either Tuesday or also Wednesday, so I will keep that in mind. And now I know after I go to Sardinia, I want to go to Sicily. So now I will start comparing dates around Sicily. So, okay, it's showing me I can fly into Palermo, Catania, and it looks like it's cheapest to fly into Catania. So I'm going to select that, select view flights, and go back to my date grid. And then this is also going to be great for planning how long you're going to spend in each place. So if I'm flying in on one of these two dates, let's say that I fly out maybe on like this Saturday or this Sunday, because this flight looks quite nice. And then once I have my flights and my dates chosen, I like to do these first because I think flights can end up being the most expensive part of the trip. So once I have my flights and my dates picked out, then I will go to, if depending on whether you want to stay in a hostel, you want to stay in an Airbnb, bed and breakfast, hotel, whatever is your preference. First, I like to check Hostel World just because I like to stay in the hostels as well. So let's see if there are hostels in Cagliari. Let's say the 27th through whatever. And then I like to always sort it by price just because I'm doing this on a budget. So I'm seeing that hostels are about $65 at the cheapest per night. So for me as a student on a budget, that would be quite expensive. So I'm going to come over here and check Airbnb because sometimes Airbnbs can be a bit cheaper, especially if you're traveling in a group. So one thing I love about Airbnb, first of all, is you can filter it to say how many bedrooms you want, how many beds, how many bathrooms, what you're looking for. I personally don't have a preference. And then if you have a preference, if you're going for work and you need Wi-Fi, or if you prefer air conditioning, you can select these options down here. And I'm just gonna say that my budget is $70 per night, since I saw Hostel World was around this price. And another great thing about Airbnb is you can search by the map. So like if I wanted to search all Airbnbs on the island, I can zoom out to see all these. And if I only want to search in Catania, I can scroll over here and then I can get as zoomed in as I want. And the city center is going to be right in here. So this is going to be the historic part of the city. That's something to keep in mind, that if you're maybe new to traveling, or if you just don't want to have to take public transportation or walk very far, you're going to want to stay in the city center so you can walk everywhere. So right off the bat, I can see that I could stay for around 50, 40. Here's a bed and breakfast. This might be great. This also has Superhost. So first I will check Hostelworld, then I will check Airbnb. Now something new I've been doing is I will check Booking.com. My sister actually told me about this site, and I just booked our recent trip off of Booking.com. So let's say that I want to go to Cagliari, and I'm going to select my dates based off of the flights that I chose. So that's going to be either the 26th or 27th to maybe like the 30th or something. And then I will go here. Sometimes I like to look at top picks first because they rate it based off of rating and price. So sometimes, you know, if you don't want to stay at the cheapest place, this could be a better option because maybe you could find something a little bit nicer for a good price range. And then again, this is for 3 nights, so this is going to be the total price, and this is our price per night, $195. But I do think if you're traveling with a group or just one other person, you know, this could be a great option for you. And then I can go here and I can do price, lowest first, and I can check these as well. Alright, so once I have my cities picked out and I have my flights booked and I have my Airbnbs, hostels, hotels, wherever I'm going to stay, then I'm going to start doing some research on the city itself. So here is Cagliari. It's one of the main cities in Sardinia. And here I can see once again the train map in case we want to take a day trip somewhere. And then now I'm going to start planning what I want to do here. So TripAdvisor sometimes can be great, but I think sometimes it's better if you want to find more local historical things, maybe not to use TripAdvisor. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in things to do in Cagliari. First, I will look at these. Okay, but this is always normally just stuff trying to sell to you. First of all, I want to see what there actually is to do on the island. So maybe I'll click here, get your guide. I've really been liking this site because it's a great way just to see different things that you should be seeing on the island. Here we go, things to do in Cagliari. So now I'll just start looking at these. So it looks like obviously it's on the sea, so maybe you would like to do something in the ocean. So normally in most of these cities, there are churches, castles, ancient ruins. So I would like to spend at least one day doing something like that. And then as you can see, some of the prices are a bit high, I would say. A lot of these things you can do by yourself for free or just with an admission ticket. Here maybe would be a great website, Strictly Sardinia, because this seems like maybe it's written by a local. And yes, here, I was born and raised in Sardinia. So websites like this are great to see what the locals like to do and what are kind of some of the hidden things on the island. So I'll just scroll through here, read this website, and see what she has to say about things that you should be doing when you're visiting Sardinia. And then I like to open just a blank document where I can start typing out things I want to do. So once again, here are my flight dates from Milan to Sardinia. So let's say I think I want to spend a little bit more time there, so I'm going to pick this date on June 27th. So now I will add this here, and my flight price, whichever one I pick, let's just say I pick this one, so I'm going to type in 35 euros. Now I'm going to be going from Sardinia to Sicily. I found that Catania was the cheapest. Few flights. I'm going to go back to this date grid. I'm going to be flying to Sardinia on this date. So let's move over and decide how many days I want to stay there. If I'm getting there this day, maybe I'll stay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and leave on Saturday because this price is quite nice. So let's select that one, and that looks like a great flight because I'll still have a lot of time in the day at Cagliari, and then I will be able to fly out later in the night. That flight is on July 1st, so I'm just going to add that here. So this is just going to be nice to kind of keep yourself organized. Any type of document that you want, maybe you prefer a spreadsheet, but I just like to do it like this because I can have everything very clearly laid out. So now I have my flights, and I will pick my hotel based on what I have decided, if I want to stay in a hostel, Airbnb, hotel. Once you have your flights, you can kind of get that figured out better. And then I'm just gonna type in things to do, and I'm gonna start saving things. So here we go. First thing it says, make sure you pay a visit to this castello. I'm going to copy that, paste that right in here. Depending on what you want to do, you know, you can save things that you like. If you want to do more walking tours and guides, you can do that. Visiting the churches, I would always recommend to visit the Duomos in Italy. Markets, so I'm definitely a foodie. I'm going to type in visit the market. And then this is great because she probably told me a market that I should go to. So here we go, San Benedetto Market. I'm going to save that. And now I'm gonna go back because I do wanna get some things booked. So let's maybe see what TripAdvisor has to offer. And right away I see that there are some boat tours, and I definitely want to do something like this here because I want to spend as much time in the ocean as I can. So now I'll kind of just start comparing these two. Let's see what's different about them. First of all, I can see this one is a bit cheaper, so let's see what this one has to offer. All right, so it's going to be on a sailboat. It's going to take you to all these different lookout points. Passengers will be offered a small tasting of local products. I think this is something that's super awesome whenever they add this, because it kind of lets you get a little taste of what the cuisine is like there. So right off the bat, this one looks good. Maybe I'll go by and save it to a trip. I'm going to create a new trip for Sardinia. And then I'm just gonna look through here and see what catches my eye. Maybe you wanna go over here and do your price. So let's say 80. Now these are just day things. I definitely would wanna do some type of cooking class or some type of maybe a bicycle tour around the city would be awesome. Here we go. Private local food and wine tasting. This looks right up my alley, and it is only 27 euros, I believe. So let's see what they do. Sample the traditional foods and wines. Back in a wine bar of Cagliari, experience this. Okay, I will go down here. I'll always read the reviews. And then yeah, here's some other things you can pick off of based on what you like. Okay, so I also just recently found that Airbnb also offers things to do. So I just typed in Airbnb things to do in Sicily, and this site looks really cool because a lot of these experiences are offered by locals, and this could maybe be something that's not as touristy but still gets to show you a lot around the island and some cool things to do. So here are some like cooking classes, boat tours, walking tours. Yeah, so I'm just comparing different sites and seeing kind of like what catches my eye based on my price. So maybe like this looks quite interesting and this is in Sicily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. I'm going to create a new wish list, and I love saving things in Airbnb because I can always go back and reference them. Things to do in Sicily. Create. And now this is going to be different from my other wish lists that I have, as well as other cities that I would love to go to. And then maybe I'll start typing in here things to do in Sicily. Let's say boat tour, cooking class, and then I will just go through and I will copy and paste links into here. I'll just copy and paste this link here, and then I will have this to go back and reference as the trip gets closer. So now I do want to show you guys a couple other budget airline sites that I love to use. So the first one is called Ryanair.com, and this is amazing for traveling all over Europe. You can get some really great flight prices once you're already in Europe and you're traveling from different cities. Another website that I love is EasyJet.com, and this is another budget airline that has some really great flight options. So let's say I'm going from Milan and I'm going to Barcelona. Now I will just start comparing these two websites. EasyJet, Ryanair, Google Flights are my top 3 that I will use.
Alright guys, that was it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that this helps you a lot for when you're planning your next trip, how to find flights, and how to do a little bit of research on the cities that you're visiting. Thanks again for watching, and if you want some more tips and tricks on traveling around Europe, let me know in the comments. I can do another video. I'm also going to be doing a lot of filming for my summer travels, so stay tuned for those. Those are going to be coming in the next couple of months, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video.